The Lord of the Rings trilogy, directed by Peter Jackson, successfully brought J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth to the silver screen and has left a lasting impression in the memories of audiences. In The Lord of the Rings trilogy, Ian Holm portrayed the character of Frodo's uncle, Bilbo Baggins. However, as you mentioned, Ian Holm also voiced the character of Frodo Baggins in the 1981 BBC radio adaptation. By contributing both as a voice actor in the radio adaptation and as an actor in the film version, Holm made two different contributions to Tolkien's work. Christopher Lee, who portrayed the character Saruman in the trilogy, was already a great fan of the Lord of the Rings books before his involvement in the films. In fact, Christopher Lee met with the author of the Lord of the Rings series, J.R.R. Tolkien, and he's the only person who played a role in the film adaptation. Lee's profound interest and rare connection with Tolkien made his role in the series even more significant. When Peter Jackson's trilogy emerged, Christopher Lee expressed his intention to play Gandalf. However, director Jackson decided that Lee was more suitable for the role of Saruman. Therefore, Lee was chosen to portray Saruman and made a significant impact with that character. He was offered the role of Saruman, and he accepted it because he wanted to be part of such a project no matter what. After the filming was completed, to immortalize the time they spent together as members of the Fellowship, they got tattoos of the Elvish number 9. The only one who didn't get this tattoo was John Rhys-Davies, who portrayed the character Gimli. Before Ian McKellen, the role of Gandalf was offered to several famous actors. However, it was eventually given to Ian McKellen, who delivered a memorable performance in portraying this iconic character. One of those actors was another famous actor, Sean Connery. However, Sean Connery turned down the offer of $30 million upfront, plus 15% of the trilogy's profits, citing that he hadn't read the books and didn't understand the script. If Sean Connery had accepted the role of Gandalf, he would have potentially earned around $450 million in total. The actors who portrayed orcs had to constantly rinse their mouths with a licorice-based drink to turn the pinkness in their mouths black. Jake Gyllenhaal, when appearing on Jimmy Fallon's show, mentioned that he auditioned for the role of Frodo, but he indicated that the audition went quite poorly. Gyllenhaal admitted that as a result, director Peter Jackson told him, "You are the worst actor I have ever seen in my life." Completely unaware of the need for an English accent or the context of the line, Gyllenhaal left the auditions feeling disappointed. Andy Serkis, the actor who portrayed Gollum, drew inspiration for the character's gestures and facial expressions from the withdrawal symptoms of heroin addicts. Additionally, to prevent his voice from being affected by the distinctive vocal strain he used for Gollum, Serkis drank a mixture he called Gollum juice throughout the series, which consisted of honey, lemon, and ginger. After the passing of Richard Harris, who portrayed Dumbledore in the first two films, the Harry Potter producers initially, Ian McKellen was offered the role of Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings trilogy but turned it down. Years later, when he appeared on a BBC program as a guest, he explained why he had declined the role. The reason for his refusal was that he was already preparing for a play at the Royal National Theatre at the time and felt that he wouldn't be able to take on the role of Gandalf due to scheduling conflicts. Richard Harris once said to several actors, including Ian McKellen, "Their acting techniques are excellent, but they lack passion in their performances." Ian McKellen made it clear why he didn't accept the role of Dumbledore, stating, "When they called me up and said would I be interested in being in the Harry Potter films, they wouldn't say what part, but I worked out what they were thinking. I couldn't take over the part from an actor who I know disapproved of me." In response to the host's question, "So you could have been Dumbledore?" he amusingly replied, "Well, sometimes when I see the posters of Mike Gambon, the actor who gloriously plays Dumbledore, I think sometimes it is me." At times, Ian McKellen humorously responded, "Well, sometimes when I see the posters of Michael Gambon, the actor who gloriously plays Dumbledore, I think sometimes it is me." The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Ben-Hur and holds the record for the most Academy Awards won by a single film, alongside Ben-Hur and a Titanic, with 11 Oscars each. And finally, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King is the first fantasy film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture.